Tyson Fury has come for his next opponent, Oleksandr Usyk, ahead of their fight next month. He has ridiculed his opponent's training session and questioned the effectiveness of his tactics. This has come after his own sessions were greeted with question marks and mockery, and it's probably why he's finding faults in another. Let's get into it. As the date for one of the most anticipated heavyweight title fights in recent boxing history draws closer, both fighters, Tyson Fury and Oleksandr Usyk, are looking more prepared than ever. Despite many hindrances, both boxers are now set to finally fight in a match that will hold on the 18th of May. The fight was initially proposed to take place on February 17th, but the bout was pushed back when Fury suffered a cut in one of his final sparring sessions, and now the fight is only a month away, and it's Tyson Fury who has made the first move in adding some controversy to the build-up. Many have claimed Tyson Fury was only being bitter because his own training session also received heavy criticism. After a short break, the WBC champion was back in the gym preparing for the undisputed shootout and recently released some training footage on social media. The Gypsy King uploaded a clip of him being put through his paces in a grueling conditioning session that included sled pushes and jump squats. Fury, who was taking extra measures to avoid a repeat of the cut with his head guard, certainly looked like he was pushing himself, but fans were less than impressed by what they were watching. One supporter wrote, "He looks awful. Please let him beat Usyk." Another tweeted, "That is genuinely some of the least impressive jumping up and down I've ever seen." A third added, "Tyson Fury is not ready for Usyk yet, and he'll get exposed in the ring." Also, ahead of his inaugural fight date with Usyk, there were worrying rumors circulating that Fury had been dropped in sparring by cruiserweight king Jai Opetaia. But the Aussie's camp later came out and denied those claims, but Johnny Nelson remained insistent that he had heard rumors of Fury being turned over in the gym. Speaking in an interview, Nelson said, "I'm hearing rumors of what's happening in camp. I'm hearing that he's getting turned over in the gym. So this thing about appetite when he's in the gym, I mean, he got shown his ass." I'm hearing these things and I'm thinking, has he taken his eye off the ball or has time caught up with him? In his most recent outing, Fury struggled immensely against Francis as he eked out a narrow split decision last October. There were no such issues for fierce rival Anthony Joshua on Friday night as he dispatched the Cameroonian MMA star inside 2 rounds. Fury will need to put on a far better showing than he did last time out if he hopes to beat Usyk, who defeated AJ twice. Should the two eventually meet, the fight looks more like a 50-50, which is a sign of the improvement seen in Anthony Joshua. Where once it was Fury's to lose, Joshua training with Ben Davison has seen him even be put as a favorite to beat Usyk again if they meet for a third time. However, it is probably as a result of the mockery and negativity that welcomed his training session that has made him come for Oleksandr Usyk after he dropped his footage of his training session ahead of the bout on May 18th. The footage showed the unified heavyweight world champion, Oleksandr Usyk, preparing for his toughest fest test to date as he aims to become the first undisputed title holder in the division since the dawn of the 4-belt era. In the footage, Oleksandr Usyk was preparing specifically for Tyson Fury, who has some good inches of height advantage over him. Usyk tried hitting a bouncing bag standing taller than him repeatedly. As cool as it was to many fans and professionals, one professional didn't find it cool: Tyson Fury. The Gypsy King found many faults in such a short clip and mocked Usyk as a result. He badmouthed the training footage and reduced it to an aimless adventure. Commenting on Usyk's training, he said, "You should know I'm taller than that, and if you're punching that like a kid, how would you punch me?" Expectedly, Tyson Fury's social media comment attracted a bit of controversy from fans who queried why he was complaining about what he had absolutely no business in. One fan commented, "We know you're pained that your training session has been mocked. You should work on yourself and not do this." Another reacted, "LOL, Tyson Fury is such a petty soul. I really don't know who gave you an analyst role to analyze the training sessions of your opponents." One more added, "You'd lose your belts in a month's time. You should be worried about that, and not about how someone trains and who punches like a kid." Regardless of what the Gypsy King feels about Oleksandr Usyk's training sessions, they have proven to be highly effective for him over the years, especially with the other techniques he has adopted as he prepares against Tyson Fury. As we've seen from the Ukrainian in the past, he has opted to use some unconventional training methods to prepare himself for a showdown with Tyson Fury. Usyk's height and weight are a key factor for many, as a reason to doubt whether he can defeat Fury, a man 6 inches taller than him, who weighed in over 50 pounds heavier than the Ukrainian in their respective last outings. However, the cat is famed for his tremendous boxing IQ and masterful footwork, which aided him in victory over Anthony Joshua on 2 occasions. Ahead of those clashes, Usyk used intriguing training techniques such as coin catching, hammer throwing, and juggling to improve his coordination and power, and once again is taking a unique approach to training camp ahead of his battle with the Gypsy King. Previously on social media, the 36-year-old posted a video of himself throwing and catching kettlebells, once again indicating his talents in coordination, rhythm, and strength. Skills which he will attempt to showcase against his much larger opponent when they meet next month, captioning the clip with his own take on a famous Muhammad Ali catchphrase, "Float like a butterfly, lift like a beast." The lingering concern for many, however, remains the fact that both Oleksandr Usyk and Tyson Fury have not been so impressive in their recent fights. Usyk's most recent fight was against Dubois. Usyk threw 53 more jabs than Dubois and landed 39 more. After knocking down Dubois at the end of the 8th round, Usyk didn't allow Dubois to land a single punch in the 9th round before finishing him off to retain the WBO, IBO, WBA, IBF world titles. Though Oleksandr Usyk won arguably every minute before stopping Daniel Dubois in the 9th round of the heavyweight title fight, a controversial low blow call in round 5 was what dominated the conversation around the IBF, WBA, and WBO champion's latest victory. Returning to the ring a year after beating Anthony Joshua for the second time, Usyk opened up an early lead on the scorecards as he peppered Dubois with his quicksilver southpaw jab and masterfully controlled the distance. After the first 4 rounds, Oleksandr Usyk had landed 7 body punches, while Daniel Dubois had landed 1. Early in the 5th, Dubois crunched a right uppercut towards Usyk's midsection and appeared to strike him on the waistband of his shorts. It was a borderline shot, and referee Luis Pabon did not start a count, meaning Usyk was allowed time to recover from an illegal blow, but upon replay looked like a legal punch on the belt line. After almost 4 minutes of convalescence, the fighters went back to it, with Dubois marauding forward on the front foot. Usyk's accuracy, once his poise returned, persuaded the Briton that this was not a sustainable tactic. Usyk was complaining to the referee in the 6th, but Dubois' body shots were unquestionably good on this occasion. It marked his best round of the fight, although it ultimately proved a false dawn. Dubois landed 9 body punches, while Usyk landed only 3 more. With Dubois targeting Usyk's body, Usyk found openings to land his punches, especially his jab. A rat-a-tat combination left Dubois disorganized at the bell in round 7, and 3 minutes later, he was down, with the key shot in a 4-punch combination right to the top of the head. The champion was merciless in the 9th and drilled a solid right hand into Dubois' jaw. The younger man got to his knee and then his feet, but Pabon looked into his eyes and had seen enough. After the fight, Dubois was unequivocal about what went down in round 5. "I don't think it was a low blow, I think it landed, and I've been cheated out of victory," Dubois said. The 25-year-old certainly had a right to feel aggrieved. He hit Usyk on the waistband of shorts that covered his navel. On another night, at another venue, the punch might have been called legal. However, here it wasn't, and from the moment Pabon didn't start a count, all other conversations were ultimately moot. Yes, Usyk was certainly in discomfort. Dubois had further success to Usyk's body, as Anthony Joshua had before him. All that said, Usyk hammed up his prolonged recovery once it was clear there was no count. He was not completely incapacitated. Dubois' promoter Frank Warren made it abundantly clear in the ring afterwards he would appeal the result and lobby for the rematch after the events of round 5. Warren also represented Fury, and the WBC champion had another stick with which to beat Usyk. Team Dubois said it will push on for the rematch in righteous fury after their man was cruelly denied on his night of nights. Once the dust settles, it might pay to take a breath. As Usyk was saying to Dubois after the bout, the British fighter is young. At 25, he can come again and he should be given the time to do so. There was a fear before the fight that Dubois would be roundly outclassed. But Usyk was lucky enough to have had the blow in the fifth as an illegal one. If not, there would have been another world champion. But Tyson Fury wasn't also impressive in his last bout against a boxing newcomer and former champion of Ultimate Fighting Championship UFC, Francis.
Trying to land body shots after tasting success in round 5. Daniel already knows the way, so now he focuses on Usyk's soft spots.
Goes to the body again and jumps. Just don't want to be walking onto that right hand. Ngannou slipped. You can tell by the demeanor of the two men, the amount of respect.
It wasn't nearly as easy as much of the public expected, but Tyson Fury fended off Francis to move on to the heavyweight fight that currently matters most. The undefeated Fury got up from a third-round knockdown and boxed and moved his way to a 10-round split-decision victory over Francis in their heavily hyped non-title fight at the newly constructed Kingdom Arena in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Fury fought sloppily at times and couldn't hurt the determined Francis, but he escaped victorious because he won on the scorecards of judges Alan Krebs 95, 94, and Juan Carlos Pelayo 96, 93. Judge Ed Garner scored their surprisingly competitive fight for Francis, 95, 94. The 37-year-old Francis gave a great account of himself in the former UFC heavyweight champ's first professional boxing match and remained dangerous right up until the final bell sounded to end their pay-per-view main event. The 6'9", 277-pound Fury entered the ring as a 20-1 favorite, but he was very careful over the final 7+ rounds once Francis dropped him with a counter left hook. "No, that definitely wasn't in the script," Fury said during his post-fight interview in the ring. "Francis is a hell of a fighter, strong, big puncher, a lot better boxer than we all thought he would ever be. Listen, he's a very awkward man and he's a good puncher, and I respect him a lot," before the fight and afterwards. Fury credited Francis for giving him probably one of my toughest fights in the last 10 years. Fury Francis drew plenty of criticism, especially from boxing fans, because the 6'4", 272-pound Francis never boxed as a professional prior to the fight, whereas Fury was an elite-level heavyweight who has beaten hard-hitting Deontay Wilder by 7th-round technical knockout and 11th-round knockout and long-reigning champion Wladimir Klitschko by unanimous decision. At least, however, Fury's victory ensured that Fury could move forward with the much more significant fight for which he had already signed a contract. After the bout, Fury and Ukraine's Oleksandr Usyk were now expected to take part in their long-discussed heavyweight title unification fight, perhaps as soon as December 23rd at Kingdom Arena. England's Fury suffered a small cut on the left side of his forehead early in his fight with Francis, but it didn't bleed much and had little impact on their bout. Assuming it healed quickly, Fury was ready to face Usyk in 8 weeks, however, it didn't. The WBC champion was non-committal when asked about facing Oleksandr Usyk. "Listen, I'm gonna go home. I've been in training camp now for 12 weeks. I put a long, tough, hard camp in. I'm gonna go home, take a long rest, and we'll see what's next for us," Fury said. Whenever they fight, unless Fury Usyk results in a draw or no contest, Fury 35 or Usyk 36 will emerge from their fight as the first fully unified heavyweight champion of the four-belt era. Usyk, who watched Fury defeat Francis from a ringside seat, owns the IBF, IBO, WBA, and WBO belts. A flush right hand by Fury connected with Francis just under 30 seconds into the opening round. Fury complained that Francis wouldn't break barely a minute into their fight. 2 rounds later, Fury found himself on his back, surprised that a comparative novice put him down. Fury landed a hard jab about 40 seconds into the second round. Francis landed a short left hand with just over 150 to go in the second round. Soon thereafter, blood appeared on Fury's forehead from a cut apparently caused by a clash of heads. Francis landed a right uppercut while they fought out of a clinch late in the second round. Fury clinched Francis several times during the third round, when he also fought from a southpaw stance. Francis missed with a right hand, but quickly caught Fury with a left barely 40 seconds into the third round. A counter left hook by Francis landed to the side of Fury's head and knocked him down with 44 seconds to go in the third round. A stunned Fury got up pretty quickly from the 7th knockdown of his career, but Francis, who taunted Fury after he went down, couldn't capitalize on that momentum, and Fury made it to the end of the round. After getting dropped by Francis in the final minute of the third round, Fury fought in rhythm during the second half of the fourth round. The heavily favored fighter landed lefts and rights, but Francis took those shots well and kept coming forward. Fury landed a right hand as Francis pressed forward and tried to throw hard shots a little more than 40 seconds into the fifth round. A right uppercut by Fury grazed Francis's chin with 50 seconds on the clock in the fifth round. Fury drilled Francis with another right hand about 25 seconds later and landed a stiff jab with less than 10 seconds to go in the fifth round. Fury also appeared to intentionally hit Francis with a right elbow while throwing a punch during the sixth round. Fury nailed Francis with a hard jab 105 into the sixth round. Francis mostly swung and missed during the sixth round when Fury carefully pot-shotted him with jabs and moved around the ring. Fury clinched on several occasions in those rounds and missed with right uppercuts he hoped would flatten his still dangerous opponent. A fatigued Francis came forward during the 7th and 8th rounds, but he mostly attempted one punch at a time. Francis came forward again during the 9th round, but Fury kept his distance, occasionally threw jabs, and tied up Francis whenever he got close.
Southpaw stance, trying to land a left hand, and makes Fury miss with his counter.
Yeah, smart inside there, Ngannou tying up Fury, moving round the back of the Gypsy King.
He clinched Francis numerous times during the final 3 minutes and clearly was just trying to reach the final bell. Fury was wary of Francis's power throughout the 10th and final round. Fury kissed Francis on the side of his head and rubbed his head as a show of respect as soon as their fight ended. "It's a part of boxing," Fury said. "You know, I got caught behind the head again. I wasn't hurt or anything. I was all right, and I got back up, and it was what it was, got back to boxing." May 18th would reveal who has the quickest comeback of both boxers from what could be seen as sneaky victories for them. The Tyson Fury Oleksandr Usyk undisputed heavyweight championship bout was rescheduled for May 18th in Saudi Arabia after the initial cancellation. It was announced by the chairman of the kingdom's General Entertainment Authority, Turki Al-Sheikh. Fury and Usyk were set to meet Feb 17 in the kingdom's capital, Riyadh, before the fight was postponed Friday after Fury suffered a cut over his right eye while sparring. The rescheduled date was announced by Al-Sheikh as Fury sat alongside him. Usyk and manager Aegis Klimas also joined the announcement from Spain. "I arranged to spar 12 rounds with 4 different guys," Fury said on the program. "In round 5, I got an elbow in the eye, a split eye, and obviously I've been to the hospital and have 11 stitches. They have the medical reports, they have everything. Have a look at the eye. Nothing much anybody can do about getting a cut. I've never had one before while sparring. First time for everything." Al-Sheikh said that if either fighter withdraws from the May 18th bout, he must forfeit $10 million from his purse, and also that one of them would still fight on that date. Addressing doubts from Usyk's team and from social media about the veracity of the injury, Al-Sheikh said, "He has a special camera that gives him access to Fury's training camp in Riyadh. He confirmed there was a serious cut that emerged from an accident in sparring." Usyk said he simply smiled when he was informed of the postponement and proceeded to train. Klimas claimed on the show that Fury was scared and that he didn't want to fight Usyk. "Why would I not want to fight for the biggest payday in my life and put 10 weeks in the training camp?" Fury responded. Truly, Fury and Usyk signed contracts for their long-awaited battle for heavyweight supremacy weeks before the Gypsy King stepped through the ropes to fight Francis in a 10-round non-title bout, but an injury led to the postponement. And now, it is hoped that nothing would hinder the match from becoming a reality. Usyk, 36, is an Olympic gold medalist and former undisputed cruiserweight champion. The Ukrainian holds the WBA, WBO, and IBF titles, belts he won from Joshua in 2021. Usyk retained the titles in the rematch with another decision win over Joshua last summer in Saudi Arabia. Also, Usyk is ESPN's number 2 heavyweight and number 3 pound-for-pound boxer, while Fury is ESPN's number 1 heavyweight and number 10 pound-for-pound boxer. This is Fury's second title reign after beating another Ukrainian, Vladimir Klitschko, in 2015 for 3 heavyweight titles via decision in an upset. Fury never defended those titles and instead was out of the ring for 2.5 years due to depression and substance abuse. He was up to 400+ pounds during that time. After Fury returned from that hiatus, he established himself as one of boxing's top stars with a classic heavyweight title trilogy with Deontay Wilder, whom he stopped twice after a draw in the first meeting. Fury's third fight with Wilder was ESPN's 2021 Fight of the Year and Knockout of the Year. The Fury-Usyk deal contains a 2-way rematch clause, virtually ensuring 2 consecutive fights between the pair for millions of dollars. But the first match on May 18th is what many look up to before the second becomes a topic again. And that's all for now. If you enjoyed watching this video, kindly react by clicking the like button below. For the very best updates on news, moments, events, and actions in the world of boxing, stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to turn on notifications to get alerted when we drop quality contents like this. Until next time, peace out.